Yeah, you're rocking with me, the one and only DJ Erica. It's the DJ Erica podcast, and we have a special guest on the line, Headkrack, okay? Of course, I'm sure you know who he is. He's on the Rickey Smiley show. He's on Dish Nation. He's a hip-hop artist, freestyle phenomenal, and now he's here on the show. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, yo.
Yeah, I just really appreciate it. And, of course, I just want to talk to you about your career so far. Of course, you're a radio host. You do Dish Nation. You do the Rickey Smiley show. So can you tell me the difference between being a radio personality versus doing TV?
You know, the crazy thing is they're very similar. The only difference is, you know, on the TV side of things, it just really makes it more four-dimensional. Like, you know, radio, they just hear your voice, and that's the only thing they have to go off of. But TV, you know, you got to kind of care a little bit more. Like, you know, most people that are in radio, they, like, you know, depending on especially what time their show is, they can just roll the work any old kind of way. Like, you know, when you're on TV, you kind of got to look like you care just a little bit, unless you make it like your thing to look like the guy that doesn't care. So I try to walk that fine line down the middle because I don't feel like I always got to be, like, you know, in something that, you know, costs an absurd amount of money, but I do like dressing fresh. So it's a balance. So, you know, on the days that we tape Dish Nation, I at least make sure, like, heat and an iron hit my clothes that day versus just, like, a day like Friday where we don't tape Dish Nation and I'm just going to throw anything that's not wrinkled on and just go.
Right. So, like, when it comes to, like, Dish Nation, do they have, like, a full setup where you have to, like, you know, put on makeup, whatever you need to do to make sure that you look good under the light and everything else? Like, is it set up like that?
Well, it's tougher for the girls on the show because, you know, women, you know, especially, like, because we have, like, such superstar talent on the show, you know, they want to be seen the same way that people are used to seeing them all these years. So, like, they take a little bit more time to do makeup, but, like, literally it takes, like, maybe 15 seconds for somebody to just powder me. They just got to make sure my face ain't oily or shiny. You know what I'm saying? Because I be using, like, essential oils and stuff. So, like, you know, like, my face be glistening. So they just powder me down just, I guess, to take the shine off. So I'm easy. I'm not, like, one of the people who look, you know, got to be, like, mortuary fresh. You know, when it comes to, like, makeup and stuff like that, because I think that stuff is terrible for your skin. So they just powder me a little bit and keep it pushing.
So, and like, in the morning, like, how long do you guys take? Because I know that on the web, well, we see like 5. You guys make it seem like you're only there for, like, 5 seconds. We see about 5 minutes of it. How long are you taping when it comes to doing, like, Dish Nation versus you doing the full radio show?
I mean, radio's kind of like real time, so there's not really, you know, a lot of, you know, downtime. I mean, granted, like, you know, we play commercials on the radio, but, you know, the 4-hour radio show is pretty much the 4-hour radio show. As it relates to Dish Nation, we tape from about anywhere between, like, 11 o'clock to about 1:30, but it's not continuous taping. Like, you know, like, we'll do a story, we'll stop, then a producer will tell us what the next story is about. You know, we'll figure out what our talking points are, and then we, like, cut the next thing. And then because we, you know, do a communication cross-chat thing with L.A., we got to wait for them to get off the air in L.A., and they 3 hours behind us. So we kind of take, like, a 30-minute break from, like, 12 to 12:35, and then we finish the show anywhere between, like, 1 and 1:30. You know, that's if we don't got to cut promos or commercials and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So I want to know, how did you get involved with becoming a host on the Rickey Smiley show? For most of the people that don't know, like, how did that all come about?
Basically, I was doing a night show with one of my buddies from the group, the Bodega Brothers, my man Keno, and this other guy by the name of Super K. And we had, like, the #1 night show in Dallas. And when Steve Harvey was leaving his morning slot at the Beat, they wanted to, you know, start a new morning show. So the program director at the time, my man John Candelaria, he was like, well, Headkrack is really organized. Let's take him, and we'll put him with Rickey, and he can help kind of, like, you know, pilot the show. And, you know, we'll build the show up from there. And that's kind of what they did. So, you know, going from nights to mornings, and, you know, next thing you know, it's syndicated in a whole bunch of markets, and then the Dish Nation TV thing came out and about, and, you know, and the balloon just keeps rising from there, man. So it's been a fun ride, but it seems like it was just yesterday when it all started.
Yeah, and then, of course, I know that you have a lot of more things in the works and everything. And I want to know, like, of course, since I'm interviewing you, you used to interviewing other people.
Right.
So what is your process of interviewing, like, finding guests for the show? Like, how does that work? How do you because you guys have a outstanding amount of talent that comes up there. How do you guys keep that so organized and get all that set up daily, like at weekly, doing that?
I mean, the crazy thing is, like, every now and then it'll be like a week where it's dry, like no one's coming through. Like, oh, word, we got no interview scheduled this week. Okay, I guess I'll go to the gym early or something. You know, I like interviewing people, and I really like interviewing people that I'm a fan of. And then I even like interviewing people who are new and kind of on the bubble, because those are the people that you kind of get the practice on for the other interviews that you do later. So I kind of don't really turn anybody away unless I'm just really not rocking with them. You know what I mean? There's some people who, you know, when people say, hey, we got to interview blah, 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 I'm like, I think I'm going to go to the store. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm not going to talk to somebody I don't want to talk to, and I'm pretty adamant about that. But for the most part, you know, I'll interview anybody. Like today we had Rick Ross. I love Rick Ross. You know, and interviewing somebody like that is easy because I'm truly mentally invested with what he got going on. Like, you know, I like his new album. You know, I've been following his career, and he won me over as an artist. So, you know, anytime somebody could do that, you know, I'm locked in, and I'm following the journey. So there's that. You know, we got Wale came on the show recently. We had Megan Thee Stallion, you know, come through and freestyle on this thing I do called The Take. Which is pretty much a one-take freestyle that I have artists come up and do. And she came up and did it before she was, like, super popping. Like, you know, she came and did the freestyle, and then, like, like maybe 6-7 months later, she was, like, out of here. So, you know, I love it all. I like catching people on the way up. I love people who are, like, you know, OG classic artists like De La Soul. And I like guys who are popping right now, you know, and the artists, too. So, you know, I rock with it all.
Yeah. So, you talking about hip hop. Most of the people that you listed was hip hop artists. Now, of course, you said that the people that you like to interview, you like them as artists and people, right? So I want to know exactly this genre so far of hip hop. Who are the most people that you listen to? Like, how many people do you listen to daily, and what is your favorite group of people that's out right now that you're like, okay, I really like their music, I rock with them, and we should possibly support them?
The crazy thing is, you know, I don't listen to it's not like a whole bunch of artists that I listen to. Like, there'll be songs that I like that I gravitate towards. I like Tierra Whack. She's really dope. I like Rhapsody. I like 070 Shake. I like Doja Cat. And it's crazy that I'm naming all female artists right now, but that's just kind of like the bag I'm in. I like Malibu Mitch.
Female Rising.
Huh?
That's the females are rising. Yeah.
The females are rising, and it's giving a different energy. I feel like I've heard everything that most dudes have to say. But, you know, I also like guys like Royce the 5'9", Rick Ross, Kendrick Lamar, of course, Childish Gambino, preferably when he's rapping and not singing, but I'll take it both. You know, I like Denzel Curry is crazy nice. Earth Gang, you know, anything out of that Dreamville camp is, you know, pretty much good to go. J.I.D., you know, Megan Thee Stallion is out here sounding great. You know, Wale is consistent. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. You know, like, you know, I don't necessarily have a particular favorite artist, like, you know, like, yo, this is my go-to guy, because there's just so many people contributing to the overall palette of what's great. Like Anderson .Paak as well, you know, who's not 100% a rapper, but he sings a little bit. And sings a lot actually. But he's such a musical guy that he's dope to listen to too. I like the whole you know, YBN crew, like, you know, YBN Corday, YBN Namir, you know, and Almighty J, like, they're pretty diverse. The Locks, I still listen to Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, like, anybody who's dope and got something to say, I'm rocking with it.
Yeah, and of course, like, you're a hip hop artist also. So can you talk about your group, Bodega Brothers? Like, how did that formulate? And how long you guys been an active group? And tell me the story about you guys.
Okay, so Bodega Brothers kind of originated from, you know, me, Kino, and this other guy named Travi. We were all part of, like, 3 different groups. And there came a time where I got booked to do some shows overseas in Europe, and I didn't want to go dolo because, you know, like, hey, like, sometimes when you travel abroad, the cool thing is, like, bring people with you and have fun. So I wanted them to come with me, and we had a few songs that we had together that we made in the studio, But, as the trip was drawing closer, I was like, yo, let's make some more. And because we hung out so much together, because me and Kino did the night show together, and Trav also worked at the station too, but in promotions, the records just kind of came together because our friendship was tight. So I'm thinking like, yo, we gotta think of the name. We gotta call this something. And then me and Kino came up with the name like Bodega Brothers, because anybody from the East Coast or even places like Chicago, if you ever been into a bodega before, it's like a little Spanish store where you can buy a little bit of everything. Like you could buy ice cream, and musically we're the same way. We're a mixed bag, and we could bring anything you want to the table because we're just musically diverse like that. So so we've been rocking functionally as a group since probably, I'm going to say arguably 2009, right? But, it's crazy. We'll have a year where we're just being really busy, and then we'll have a year where we're quiet. And we've been really quiet for probably the last 2.5 years, and it's because we've been working on stuff. So so we got more bodega music coming, and then you also got my solo project coming out in September.
Okay, so tell me about the solo project.
So our solo project is called Action Park, which is based on one of my favorite amusement parks growing up as a kid. So in the New York, New Jersey area, there used to be this amusement park called Action Park, and it was crazy dangerous. Not dangerous because of the people that would go, but the rides were actually dangerous. They were all these self-propelled human rides. And over the course of the park's history, 9 people died. So
whoa.
Just because I believe in numerology and synchronicity, the original version of Action Park had 9 songs on it, and I recently added 2 bonus records on it just because I just felt like I had more to say. So it's 11 tracks. It's fun, and basically the premise of it all is life is like a ride. Some rides you're gonna survive. Some rides you're going to get cut on and have a really interesting scar because of it, and some rides could take your life, and it's about all of that in its totality.
I love the direction of that. And are you also a producer as well?
Okay, now, if I was to say I was a producer, I would say I'm a producer Puffy. I'll be yo, it'd be dope if you sample that and then put this kind of drum over it, and let me hear it when you're done. Then I walk out, then I come back. And the beat gets made. I wish I had time to sit there and make beats, but it would just be another thing that would just divide my time and just keep me off my grizz. But I do like producing, and I know a good sample when I hear it. But I have never in my life made a beat from top to bottom per se. I've done some blends, where I'll just take a sample and maybe just add a drum to it. I guess that is producing, but I would never add producer to the name of my title.
Okay,
out of respect for the people that do it for real. Because if you put a beat machine in front of me, my nose would start bleeding, and I would probably full face forward.
Well, I mean, I understand that. I understand that. Sometimes you just gotta leave it to the group that does it. Do it.
I know the really hard, complicated way to produce things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the new digital way to produce things. Because back in the days, cats would make records by time. And some people still use that practice, but in hip hop or even pop music, a lot of times it's just somebody with a drum machine and a beat, whatever they're using to make their beats on, whether it's a drum machine or a keyboard, and then making their beats that way. I would take the breaks from records that I like, and I would put that into the computer and just chop the drums and then layer the bass line on top of that. It's just a way complicated way to do things versus how simplified people do, the way people do it now. I know the hard way, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I mean, that is a lot to have to learn so much, and you got to really focus on that particular craft to make sure that you perfect it, and working with a lot of artists also doing that. So I understand that part. In regards to producers, how do you pick a producer that worked with you to collaborate to make your project? How was that process?
Well, it's a group of producers, actually, as I peruse around the internet, there's people I stumble across who got dope music online, a lot of the guys I found, well, at least a couple of them, I found on YouTube. And then some of the other production came from people who I've worked with in the past, just on previous records, whether it was stuff for Bodega or stuff for myself. And, and it just worked. because like not every song on here was necessarily aimed towards this project, you know? Like some things were targeted for another project that, another incarnation of this project that I was working on. And then, I suffered the loss of my mom like last year, and just like my mind state changed a little bit, and I just wanted to do a different kind of project and then kind of like use some of the other records for the next project after that. I just felt like the tone I wanted to have with this first project, I wanted to have fun, because the other one was like really like, it was in a really weird energy space, and I didn't want to be dealing with what I was dealing with and also release a dark album at the same time. So I was like, yo, let me put the fun records all here, and we'll do the moody stuff on the next album.
So you have a catalog. You are constantly creating music, and in regards to like just being an artist, you really are just an artist. Like you.
Yeah, I guess it's safe to say that. In some way, yeah. I mean, because like it's what I like doing more than I like doing anything. Like radio's great, it's fun, yay. But I like making music. It truly makes me happy, and to be able to take the things that I create in my basement and go to like a stage in another state and do these songs, it's the most awesome feeling in the world. Because, and a lot of times, like when we perform somewhere, you maybe never even heard of us or never even heard of me or didn't even know our rap. Like, you the guy from TV? Like, I'm still in the campaign mode where people are still finding out because, people get to see me do one particular thing 5 days a week. And, I may mention music once every few weeks. So it's cool to see the reaction on people's face when they finally get to see what I actually really do.
And like I said before, I listen to your music, and like I said, I really feel your freestyle flow and the way that you, like, how do you, like, just as a creator, like, how do you just, it's just something natural to you, like, you just seem like a natural freestyle. I've seen that you also toured around doing freestyle, and you won a few awards and things of that nature. So, like, what is your overall goal as an MC? Like, do you want to stay, like, on the circuit where you're continually freestyle, or do you want to take it to the next level and like?
No, I definitely want to get to a point where people know me more for like a particular, body of work. And it's crazy because like, the current landscape of music that we're in right now, it's like really a singles driven market. And I believe in having a whole good album as opposed to just like, hey, here's a single, here's a single, here's a single. And I know it's kind of counterproductive to what the current flow of things is, but, I don't really want to change my process. I like to show people a whole picture as opposed to a snapshot, so I want to be known for, being able to freestyle and having a great show, but I really want people to connect to the music because music saved me as a kid. Like when I was going through things that I was going through, it was the music that helped me keep my chin up and push through the day. So I'm trying to create music that'll do the same thing for people, who may need that as well. So I want to be known for that.
And just to ask, are you around to do a freestyle real quick? So for other people to hear, are you interested in doing that right now? Would you freestyle right now if you're interested in doing
yeah, I wouldn't mind freestyling right now.
Definitely, I want to hear it. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. You do your thing. Do your thing.
All right. Off the top's Headkrack. I'm here to tear it up. I'm on the phone with DJ J Erica. It's hella late, but, yo, we don't care. Yo, I'm busting freestyles just to show I am prepared. She got a podcast and a channel on YouTube. I want to let you know right now, Erica, you rule. You're cool. You got mad suggestions. She jumped on the phone and asked all the fly questions. She's talked about the group. She talked about the job. Check it out. We rolling deep just like the mob. I'm jumping in the sob like we did back in the 90s. It's off the top with the freestyle. I'm living grimy. If you want to try me, you might get executed. Yo, it's the shot, and I'll be the next to shoot it. Like, I want to know where you're at. I like this girl right now. Her name is Doja Cat. She dropped a song today. Yeah, I want to follow up. Kill that last part. But messing around, having fun with it.
Y'all got to check out his material. So the viewers out there, definitely check him out because I think his dope materials, freestyles, and everything else. I'm looking forward to downloading the new project. What is the actual release date for your project? Did you pick a date yet?
We're thinking like the third week of September. I got like one record right now that's being mixed, And once that joint bounces back, we are good to go. It's fun. Like, I think it encompasses all things that, I'm about. Like the bars are there, the stories are there, because I'm really big on stories. I think some of the greatest rap records in the world were stories that people remember. Like when you hear Children's Story right now by Slick Rick, if you remember that song, it still sounds just as good, and it's always classic because it's a story that everyone remembers. Brenda's Got a Baby is by Tupac. It's a story that everyone remembers. Kendrick Lamar, Sing About Me. Like, it's another great story that people remember. So I got a bunch of story raps. I got a few personal records on there. I got your party, your turn up records. I got your driving back home on the way from the club records. I got your on the way to the club records. I have your I'm pumping gas right now, but I got my music up loud with the windows rolled down records. It's all there.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. And then, of course, I want to talk about back to your radio, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Back to your radio production, being a host and everything else. So I'm hearing rumors that you are supposed to have your own morning show coming. Is that
the
true?
rumors are true, yeah. I get my own show. It jumps off in January. And, we've been doing like these, these test run shows on the weekend called the Weekend Crackdown, and they've been really well received. So if that is any indication to how great this next phase is going to be, we're going to be all right. Because, because we're doing the weekend show kind of with a little bit of a handicap, because the people I'm doing it with are in a completely different city, and I'm doing it in a room by myself. And we've only all hung out a few times, but the chemistry is just instantaneous, and we're also going to be adding some other bells and whistles to it to really make it run like a really well-oiled machine. And we're going to service the culture, man, for the next 10 plus, hopefully.
Yeah. I look forward to hearing that, of course. And just overall what you guys got going on. Now, I want to ask some quick fun questions.
Okay.
And see exactly what you like to watch, okay? So, all right, I watch Netflix. I watch a few shows. Do you watch Netflix? And if so, what are your favorite shows that you watch off of Netflix?
All right, let me tell you something. I was literally watching Netflix before I jumped on for this interview. Right now, I'm trying to finish the last season of Orange is the New Black. I hate that I'm watching it because once it's over, it's over. And I don't have, the luxury of time to, completely rewatch seasons of shows that I've already completed. So it's been a hell of a ride. Love that show. Also, I love that show with my man, daggone it. It's my man Jason Bateman. He's cleaning up money for the drug dealers. Ozark, love that show. Also on Netflix, I'm rocking with Umbrella Academy. I'm also rocking with Black Mirror. I'm heavy on their comedy specials. And, anything with Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock. I mean, they're two of the greatest to ever do it. And what else do I mess with on Netflix? That's really it for the time being. Around My Way or On My Block. That show, On My Block, from about the kids in L.A. going to school. I just started watching that one. They're on season 2 right now, but it's a great show.
I want to write all that down and try to look it out myself, because I'll be on Netflix. I'll be watching a few things. I watch the movies. I like to watch the documentaries and things like that. So
it's so annoying because I spend a lot of time on Netflix trying to figure out what I want to watch, and I want to watch a lot of things, but you got to kind of compartmentalize it. What do I literally have the energy to watch right now? What will I watch just to help me fall asleep, and what do I really truly care about? And then everything else is garnish. But man, there's just so many good shows.
Yeah, that's how I am. I'll be like, okay, what should I watch during the daytime? I got a little bit of time. Sometimes I'll binge watch a whole season of a show. But sometimes, I might like the show so much, I don't want to watch everything at once, like you said, because once it's over, it's over. And then you got to wait all the way until next season to see everything else. So sometimes I like to spread it around.
Yeah, I took my sweet little time watching the first season of Stranger Things, and when I finally finished, I couldn't wait for season 2, and then boom, season 2 came through. I plowed right through it, and I'm already done with season 3, and I'm gonna have to wait a year and a half for season 4, if that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a long time to have to wait for your favorite show to come out.
Yeah, them kids are gonna be adults by the time the next one drops.
Right. That's That's the only down part of watching Netflix. You're like, okay, because having cable, you get impatient. You're like, oh, I want to see next week. I can't wait to see next week. Now you can see next week, but once it's gone, then you got to wait a whole year and a half for the next season. So it's like, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few shows that are really good about making sure they come right back. Like Glow, they quietly snuck season 3 out there last week or the week before last, and I like Glow, but I didn't realize the new season dropped. But I gotta finish Orange is the New Black before I get into Glow, because I finished the first 2 seasons. I used to watch the actual wrestling show when I was a kid. I don't know if you know what Glow is. It's called Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. It's like the WWE, but it was like chicks, and it was just really outlandish and wild, stereotypical, but it fit right in the late 80s, early 90s. But, yeah, they got a whole series about it. It's really interesting.
I'm going to check that out, put that on my to-watch list, of course. It's my favorite. Check out what you watching, And then,
if you like documentaries, you got to check out this joint called Evil Genius.
Evil Genius. What's that about?
It's based on a true story about this bank robbery that took place in, I think, Pennsylvania somewhere. And the person who robbed the bank had a device around their neck, and when the cops caught up with him, he was like, yo, I didn't want to rob the bank. These people are making me do it. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Then the device explodes and takes his head off. So when they go to his car, they found a series of notes and instructions that were telling him different things to do, and then they realized that, okay, he was telling the truth, but who put him up to this? So the whole documentary is about figuring out who all the players were involved in the bank heist, and it's so elaborate that just when you think you got it figured out, you don't.
Whoa, I'm going to check that out tonight. Like you said, Evil Genius?
Evil Genius, yep.
I want to check that out tonight because that sounds really crazy, and honestly, I don't have anything else to watch tonight, so I might as well catch up on something new because I love me some documentaries. But my thing also I want to know more about you is your hobby. So I know that you have so many different things that you're doing business-wise, but what do you do for your downtime outside of doing entertainment?
Yo, when I'm just chilling out, man, I like to just like we just discussed, man, watch Netflix, and I'm big into video games. When I have time to play them. I think I have more games in the plastic right now than I do that are actually open. But at heart, I'm a video game. I used to be one of those guys who would rent a game and beat it before it was time for the game to actually be due, because I just used to have that much time. But now, just the demands of work and everything, and then also, I'm trying to work out 4 or 5 days a week. It's just hard to squeeze that time in. But I love gaming. It's therapeutic, and especially the games I play, because I'm not a person who plays Madden or anything like that, or NBA 2K. I'm more of the games that take a long time to play and have high replay value. So, it's not I have to be online with other people to play it, but I could just play at my own pace. I love those games.
Yeah, it's is it those games that you have to be on missions, investigation type of thing? It's you just one person trying to, I don't know.
Well, yeah, this one game I love is this joint called State of Decay. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto with zombies. And they keep coming up with these different updates, and it expands the map of where you can play at, and it's stressful, real life. So if your character dies in the game, he's dead permanently, and then you got to use somebody else. So you get these characters in a game, because you can switch between characters within the thing, once you set up your fort and whatever. So as the game progresses, you may have a favorite character, but maybe you sent them on a mission by himself that you shouldn't have sent them on a mission on, and he gets killed. Then you're like, damn, man, 3 weeks of video gaming down the drain because Carl's dead. I take it very seriously.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. I haven't played video games in a long time, but I do know a few people that that are professional gamers. So that's
I want to play so much sometimes that I get sad because I just don't know when I'm gonna get to play it. In most scenarios, I would have beat Grand Theft Auto 5. The last Grand Theft Auto that came out, I would have probably beat it in 2 weeks if this was me, when I was fresh out of high school. And just getting out into the workforce. But now it's I still haven't beat Grand Theft Auto 5. It's been out for 3 years. And now I have these VR games too that I'm into that is so addictive because you feel you're really in the game. But it's just not enough time in the world to play them all.
Yeah, and that's a nice hobby to have. Me, I mean, I'm really more so like I like to listen to music on my spare time personally. You know what I mean? I like to go through catalogs. Like my thing is I like to turn on like music choice and start listening to different R&B music, like stuff like that. Kind of like more so my hobby. You know what I mean? And then the gym thing that you mentioned, like I'm trying to get myself back in the gym. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to stay inspired. Okay.
You got to stay on top of it. Like my whole thing is like, like it's easier for me to listen to new music at the gym than it is to just like listen like just as I'm riding around, because my commute is so short. So I gotta knock that stuff out when I'm rolling. Well, when I'm rolling to the gym.
Yeah, I'm focused on it. I'm just getting back into the gym thing, but we're gonna get it together.
All it takes is that first day going back. It's gonna be tough, but then go back, then go the next day. It gets easy.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Now, is any type of shows you have going on towards the wrapping towards the end of the call? Do you have any shows going on? I know that you host and you do everything.
Absolutely. So me and my manager, Anna, we have this event that we curate called The Take, which basically is like a music game show. We take 4 artists and we have them compete against each other for the opportunity to win like money and a bunch of other cool things. And that has been really cool. This is about to be our 3rd one. And every time it's just an interesting experience. Like the very first one we did, this young lady by the name of Jada Trades won. The second one we did, this girl by the name of Veli Marie won. And and it's anybody's battle on this one. And the cool thing is it's not like a freestyle battle. It's very complex. And it's a very different approach to how we do this contest. And I just can't wait to see what these people bring to the stage on August 24th when we do it here in Atlanta. And then the following week, me and my group, the Bodega Brothers, we got a show in Dallas opening up for the legendary Sugar Hill Gang and the Furious Five, which is kind of dope because these guys are like literally like some of the first rappers to rap publicly, for money.
Legendary.
Yeah, like the first rappers, people say Rappers Delight is like the first rap record on wax. I mean, I could debate that a little bit because there's like some, blues records that came out like in the, the 50s that people were actually doing what we call rap right now. But whatever, they were the first commercial ones. But we're rocking a show with them. That's going to be amazing. And, and I'm just happy to, just be able to continue to be blessed with these opportunities.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to checking it out. And you also have your YouTube channel, too. Well, the events you have going on will be documented and put on YouTube for people that can't.
The best place to follow, the events that I'm throwing together, man, just check me out on Instagram, HEADKRACK. Same place you can find me is on YouTube. Like most of the stuff that is on my YouTube channel is like a lot of interviews that I do with artists. Sometimes I do like, my hip-hop reports go up there. And then also my music videos. Like I have a playlist with all like my current music videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're just new to my movement and you only know me from the freestyles and you want to see like actual songs, go to youtube.com/Headkrack, look for my video playlist, and there's some joints there.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show on the DJ J. Erica podcast. And, of course, it'll be on air 95.5 FM and, of course, YouTube as well. We appreciate you for being on the line. Looking forward to talking to you even more. And make sure you guys tune in and support him. He got music. He's hosting a show. He got his radio show, everything else. I appreciate you, my brother, for getting on the line.
Appreciate you as well, and you have a blessed week.
All right. Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. Peace.
All right.
DJ Erica.